Welcome to A&A Podcast, the show where we dive deep into personal growth. We uncover fresh ideas and inspiring stories that spark curiosity. We are Ailén and Anabella, and we are so excited to have you here today. In today's episode, we are exploring some essential tips for good writing. Whether you are crafting a novel, blogging, or working on a school assignment, these tips will pave the way to help you enhance your writing skills and find your unique voice. Grab a seat, relax, and let's get started on this journey together.
Tip number 1. Read more. It's a good idea that you read often and that you read a vast number of different types of content. Making a habit of reading will expose you to different styles of writing, which will benefit your own pieces. It's also recommended that you read famous authors. You can pick up any book, for example, by Mark Twain, and you will know it's his writing simply by the tone of the story and the words he uses. If you haven't read it yet, some good writing by him is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. You will not only practice reading and enhance writing, but you will also love the book as we loved it when we read it during our literature lessons at university. Take advantage of our first step and let writing get the better of you.
Tip number 2. Write every day. This second tip is not for the faint-hearted because it involves writing a lot. Every craft takes practice to become truly proficient, and writing is no exception. Unless you are one of a few very fortunate people, you will not become an award-winning author by accident. One top writing tip is simply to write as regularly as you can. This helps you exercise the part of your brain responsible for your writing process. How can you do this? If you want to become a better writer, a great way to get going is to write just a little but often. We also advise you to write a journal every day because it promotes critical thinking and it helps with writing focused arguments.
Tip number 3. Know your audience. Before you put pen to paper, take a moment to think about who will be reading your work. It's crucial to be in tune with your audience. Understanding your audience's interests and preferences can shape not only what you write about, but also how you say it. This is why it is massively important that you make sure all your articles are written in the voice appropriate for the intended audience. Ask yourself the following: are they looking for information, entertainment, or inspiration?
Tip number 4. Create an outline. Before you start writing your piece, it is really advisable that you create an outline about what you will write about. Outlining might sound tedious, but it's a game changer. A solid outline gives your writing structure and helps you stay focused on your main points. Start with a basic framework, introduction, body, and conclusion, and fill in the details as ideas come to you.
Next up is tip number 5. Be authentic. Don't be afraid to share your personal experiences and opinions. This adds uniqueness to your writing. Authenticity resonates with readers, making them more likely to connect with your message. But we recommend that you don't include information that you are not in the know because that is not authenticism.
Tip number 6. Use clear transitions. Help your readers follow your thoughts by using smooth transitions between ideas or sections. Words like next, however, or on the other hand can guide them through your narrative. For example, in my personal experience, I used to only include however, also, and additionally in my writings. But since I started to add new transitions such as moreover, my pieces of writing become much better.
And finally, tip number 7. Review and edit your work. Proofreading your first draft should be the first step in your editing process before you hand in the final draft. Once you have finished writing, take the time to revise. Check your word choice and sentence structure. Look for clarity and coherence, and erase unnecessary words or repeated ideas. Another way to revise your writing piece is to read it aloud. Reading out loud helps you catch wrong phrases and ensures that your tone matches the content. When you read out loud, it requires you to slow down and focus on every single word that you're saying.
As we are at the end of this episode, let's recap.